As we do more testing, we will find more and more people. And again, we'll isolate every one of them, and we will find every one of their contacts. Some of the people we find are going to have trouble being isolated. And so we'll be moving people like this into other kinds of housing that we have available.
In a bizarre story that seems so much like conspiracy, you need to check it out for yourself. House Democrats have proposed a measure to fund tracing of individuals believed to have been in contact with anyone who has tested positive for coronavirus and require them to quarantine. What makes this story seem so far-fetched is that the bill number is H.R. 6666. No joke. You want to click the link below this video to check it out for yourself. But in another strange twist that has to be intentional, the short title of this bill is the COVID-19 Testing, Reaching, and Contacting Everyone. Testing, Reaching, and Contacting Everyone Act, that is TRACE. H.R. 6666 was introduced May 1st, 2020 by 39 House Democrats led by Illinois Representative Bobby Rush. The bill authorizes the HHS to give out $100 billion, that's billion with a B, dollars for fiscal year 2020 alone. And I'll quote it for you. To eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for COVID-19 and related activities, such as contact tracing through mobile health units and as necessary at individuals' residences and for other purposes, end quote. And it seems to suggest that an unlimited amount of money for 2021 and for as long as the coronavirus looms. In the words of H.R. 6666, sums as may be necessary for each of fiscal year 2021 and subsequent fiscal year during which the emergency period continues. And the funding is not for something only speculated about. Ventura County, California has already rolled out a pilot program. The program, for which $100 billion in funding is proposed, is already underway. In Ventura County, California, the health department announced May 4th, 2020, that they were launching a pilot, and I quote, community contact tracing program. The initial announcement on May 4th caused an uproar since it seemed to indicate that the county officials would be forcing people found to be infected with COVID, even if they had no symptoms, by the way, out of their homes in certain cases. Dr. Robert Levin, the director of Ventura County Public Health, said the county would be hiring large numbers of contact tracers and isolating every one of the people who test positive for COVID, and find every one of their contacts and make sure they're quarantined as well, and check on them every day. I know that sounds rather hard to believe, so have a listen for yourself.
The purpose of this program is to bring on people. We're going to start with 10 people. We may bring on up to 50 or even more as the program grows and as we see the needs for it. As we do more testing, we will find more and more people who have COVID-19. And again, we'll isolate every one of them, and we will find every one of their contacts, and we will make sure that they stay quarantined, and we'll check in with them every day.
Dr. Levin also noted that the program would likely be nationwide, with thousands brought on to be contact investigators.
It's not just our county that's bringing more people on. There are going to be thousands of people hired who will be these contact investigators throughout the state. And this is occurring in many, many other states as well, perhaps all of the states in our country.
But most controversially, Dr. Levin spoke of removing people from their homes.
We also realize that as we find more contacts, some of the people we find are going to have trouble being isolated. For instance, if they live in a home where there's only one bathroom and there are 3 or 4 other people living there, and those people don't have COVID infection, we're not going to be able to keep the person in that home. Every person who we're isolating, for instance, needs to have their own bathroom.
Dr. Levin's comments caused a stir with some personalities who have been questioning the lockdown measures to sound the alarm bells over possible state abduction of people from their homes. Dr. Rashid Ali Buttar, an American osteopathic physician who has gained a major audience for his questioning of the lockdown and related measures being employed to combat coronavirus, lambasted the proposals for removing people from their homes, relating it directly to H.R. 6666.
There's many other vaccines that people have gotten. We have no idea if people are going to be testing positive, have false positives based upon those tests. So the point is that the chance of them testing someone and them being positive is pretty doggone high, even if the person doesn't have COVID-19. But they're going to use that to pull you or your loved ones, especially your children, away under pretense of public safety. They're going to say that your child has to be removed from you because you have COVID-19, and so to protect your child, we're going to take that child, or we're going to take your grandmother or your father or you and put you into quarantine. This is a load of rubbish, because if you're in your home isolated, who are you going to expose? All right? And if they're going to try to take you away from your family, the chances of you having infected your family, even if you did really have COVID-19, is about 99.9%. So this is a bunch of BS. They're using this as an attempt to further divide us as individuals. They divided us from our friends, from our social circles. Now they're dividing us from our own family units.
Following criticism and alarm, Ventura County Health PR officials were telling the media that the removal of infected persons from their homes is totally voluntary. Ventura County's Natalie Hernandez told Fox News last week, "We're not forcibly removing people," adding that the county was offering a completely optional service. Dr. Levin himself apologized for creating confusion. He said, and I quote, "I either misspoke or it was misinterpreted. I'll take the blame of having misspoke." Levin said so in a press conference reported by Fox News. He also said, and I quote, "I gave people the impression that if you were isolated, you would be taken out of your home and put into a hotel room or motel room or sequestered in some other way. If I did do that, I'm very sorry," he added. However, despite the apologies and the claims of misspeaking and stress about the voluntary nature of the activities, another Ventura County health official let slip the non-voluntary side of the program in another newscast. Chris Ornelas, who is a contact tracing nurse in Ventura County, told News Channel that should someone refuse isolation, a health officer would be consulted for next steps.
If it's someone that is refusing, we will definitely consult with our health officer to look into next steps.
I called the Ventura County Health Department Saturday to ask what Ornelas meant by next steps, but have not yet had a response. And as the program ramps up and gets more and more serious about contact tracing and quarantine confinement of those who may have been exposed to the infection, symptomatic or not, that's where a perceived connection to the prophesied mark of the beast, known by the number 666, comes into play, which is precisely why the name of the Democrat bill to fund the massive contact tracing, being H.R. 6666, is so uncanny. Last month, CNN reported on the contact tracing program in effect in China, where all residents are required to have a mobile phone app which marks them as either green, yellow, or red. Green enables them to enter public places such as stores, public transit, and restaurants, while yellow forbids them to enter public places, and red means police-enforced stay at home.
It all comes down to what's on your phone, the QR code. The way they designate that is based on your potential exposure to those with the virus. Green, your golden ticket to get into certain places, be it restaurants, hotels, shopping centers. If it's yellow or if it's red, it means you've been flagged for some reason. And yellow would suggest that they'd have you do some home isolation, some self-isolation. Red could mean forced government quarantine. Here's the process. We'll check in. Checking in for brunch. My QR code. Okay, so health code. And this is what will generate whether or not I'm clear to come in. All right, green. For example, if you're on a flight or you're on a train or you're in a space and somebody a few seats away turns out to have been a confirmed case, they're able to track who was around that individual. And if you were one of those people nearby, you would then be flagged and then potentially be asked to quarantine and to keep yourself removed from the rest of society as they continue to investigate and monitor whether or not that's really an exposure risk. It's their way of getting back to business, of resuming life, and at the same time tracing and tracking individuals as they move about to different parts of China. I mean, this is happening now with hundreds of millions of people.
If you're thinking something like this will never happen in the West, think again. This month, Alberta became the first Canadian province to launch a coronavirus contact tracing app. However, the app is voluntary, and as of Friday, only had 120,000 or 3% of the province's population of 4 million people download the app. The province is now pushing for more people to voluntarily download the app. But it only makes sense if they're serious about contact tracing to insist on use of the app the way they are in China. And it would also make sense to somehow ensure that people can't leave their tracing devices at home when they leave the house, hence the thoughts of implantable tracing microchips. And in case you're wondering if such has ever moved beyond the tracking of pets, well, one US company rolled out microchipping of its employees already in 2018. And since then, 11 states have banned companies from microchipping their employees. And just a few months ago, Bill Gates' company, Microsoft, patented microchip technology for cryptocurrency. But that's another story. Till next time, this is John Henry Weston for LifeSite News, and may God bless you. I'm John Henry Weston, co-founder and editor-in-chief of LifeSite News. To stay on top of the latest news developments, be sure you're subscribed to lifesitenews.com. We are doing more breaking news than ever before in our 23-year history. The current reports relating to the governmental and international response to the coronavirus directly affect life, faith, family, and freedom. But we need more reporters to stay on top of what's happening. As a reader-funded news organization, your support is the only thing that can ensure that we can continue to bring you these top stories that affect you and your family. Discover how you can join our growing army of supporters on the front lines and double your impact today by visiting the link below. Thank you, and may God bless you.